Hey there. Let's talk about something that comes up all the time, the ministry's travel and meal expense policy. Trying to figure out what's covered can sometimes feel a little confusing. So our goal today is simple. We're going to break it all down. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to do and feel way more confident every time you have an expense. Sound good? Let's jump in. We're going to tackle this in 4 quick parts. First, we'll get into the why, the thinking behind all these rules. Then, we'll dive into the big one, meals when you're traveling. After that, we'll cover meals that happen right here near your home base. And we'll wrap up with the golden rule for everything, getting a receipt. All right, first up, the why. Honestly, once you get the reason why the policy is the way it is, following the rules becomes so much easier. This isn't just a bunch of random guidelines. It's all built on one core idea. And this right here, this is it. This is our North Star for the entire policy. The whole point is to keep things fair and balanced. When you're out doing ministry work, you should never lose money out of your own pocket. But on the flip side, it's not meant to be a way to make a little extra income. It's about breaking even. So, digging a little deeper, it all boils down to these 4 things. First, it's about good stewardship of the resources God has given us. Second, it keeps things fair for every single person on staff. And this third one is huge. We have to follow IRS rules for nonprofits. The government is really strict that ministry funds can't be used for someone's personal benefit. Okay, let's get into the part that probably affects you the most, meals when you're on the move. This is where most of the questions come from and where the details really, really matter. You're going to want to pay close attention here because this is the key to everything. We have 3 different types of travel, and which one you're on changes all the rules. Overnight travel is pretty obvious. You're away from home and you have to sleep somewhere else. Day-to-day travel is a long haul, more than 60 miles each way, but you make it back home that same day. And other travel is just your regular local driving, less than 60 miles. See how the meal rules and especially the tax status are different for each one? Let's break those down. So for that first category, overnight travel, it's pretty straightforward. You get up to $50 a day for your meals. This also covers little things like a coffee or a snack while you're on the road. And here's the best part. Because you're officially traveling overnight for business, the IRS says this reimbursement is completely non-taxable. Now, for day-to-day travel, that long trip over 60 miles where you don't stay the night, you get up to $45 a day for meals. But, and this is the really important part, the IRS sees this differently. Since you made it back to your own bed that night, they consider this a financial benefit, which means it counts as taxable income. So yeah, we cover the cost, but it will show up on your W-2 at the end of the year. Just to be super clear, let's look at what's in and what's out. Your meals within that daily limit, good to go. Necessary baggage fees, of course. Coffee and snacks, yes, but only on overnight travel. Now, on the never approved list, you'll always find alcohol. That's a definite no. And any meals that are, over the top or extravagant are also out. We know that sometimes your spouse might be able to join you on a trip, which is great. If you get it approved by your manager beforehand, we can provide a meal allowance of up to $45 a day for them. Just remember, like day travel, this is a taxable benefit. The main rules are that it can't cause any extra hotel costs, and any expenses for your kids always have to be paid for personally. Okay, so we've covered being on the road. But what about meals when you're not traveling? There are actually 3 specific times when a meal right here near your home campus can be a ministry expense. Let's look at what those are. First, we have what we call business meals. The absolute key here is that the meal needs a clear purpose that's going to benefit the ministry down the road. Maybe you're meeting a potential volunteer or a partner. It can also be a meal with other staff, but it has to be infrequent. You can't just have a weekly lunch meeting on the ministry's dime. Think no more than once a month with the same group. The second type is for the convenience of the ministry. This one's pretty specific. Think about a huge event weekend, like Easter or Christmas. The team is all hands on deck, and we're on a super tight schedule. Bringing in lunch for everyone isn't just a nice gesture. It actually allows the work to keep moving forward without a 2-hour break. That's the whole idea behind this category. And number 3, these are the fun ones, occasional appreciation meals. This is your team Christmas party, a summer picnic, or that celebratory lunch after a big win. They're all about boosting morale and just saying thank you. But notice that word again, occasional. The IRS is cool with this, but only if these events are special and don't happen all the time. So, we've talked about the what, the when, and the why. Now we've reached the final piece of the puzzle, and honestly, it's the most important one: how you prove it. Because a legit expense, well, it's only legit if you have the paperwork to back it up. I want you to burn this into your brain. For every single meal expense, you just have to do these 3 simple things. Number 1, get an itemized receipt. Number 2, jot down the business purpose right on it. And number 3, list the names of everyone who was there. That's it, every single time. And let's be perfectly clear on what we mean by a receipt. That little credit card slip that just shows the total, that's not good enough. We need the itemized receipt, the long one that shows exactly what you bought. Think of it this way: the credit card slip is the headline, but the itemized receipt is the whole story. We need the whole story. And here's the real kicker. Here's why this is so important. If you submit an expense and it's missing that proper itemized receipt or the business purpose, we have no choice. The IRS requires us to treat it as taxable income to you, and it will go on your W-2. Following the process protects you just as much as it protects the ministry. So that really brings us to the final question to ask yourself. The next time you're about to submit an expense report, just take a second and think, is this thing IRS proof? Following these guidelines isn't about jumping through hoops. It's about being excellent stewards and making sure everything we do is clear and above board. Thanks so much for taking the time to walk through this with me.